This is a radio Ryan sent me some time ago, and I've kind of been sitting on it, but the time has come to open it up and pull it out and make it work. Looks like it belonged to Ralph. This is kind of unique, actually. Looks like it goes from 55 to 1.6, and then it looks like it goes from 1.7 to 3.4. I guess it's 340 kilohertz. No, that's got to be 3.4 megahertz. Duh. Kind of cool, actually. It's a typical 1-volt radio. 1 T4, 1 R5, 1 U4, probably a 3 V4, and something else. This is the model number. Can't hardly read it. 53-658. Lots of wax capacitors in there that have to be changed if they have more than a few volts. It's going to test the speaker, and I noticed this.
Matthew is doing all the music for the American Music Awards this Sunday night at ABC. He's on the phone right now. How you doing, man? Doing good. How you doing? I'm good. So you're making history again this weekend. With
I thought it was spider eggs, but it looks like a cotton ball. I wonder if the speaker's any good. All right, hook it up to another radio and test it.
Yeah, well,
I got it hooked to this radio just to test it. This is another Philco radio I found and got going. His speaker sounds okay.
Everything for the American Music Awards this weekend. Sure. When are you and Gunnar going to do some more shows here?
That music used to make me smile, and I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while.
One thing about these, this is a 9.1 megahertz 1950 radio, man. These things just, they don't work well, and the tuning is hypercritical.
Take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his ride. Something touched me deep inside the day the music died.
So we checked the speaker and it was good. Now I'm going to check the main electrolytic filter capacitor, and I just got the same Philco receiver plugged into this speaker, and this is in series.
On air with Ryan Seacrest.
Kiss FM pays your bills.
Alvaro Avalar from LA. Alvaro Avalar, call us.
So I got, this is just in series with the speaker. I'm just going to run the audio through this capacitor. So this lead's clipped onto the ground.
Well, they were made in the 80s, this particular pair, so customers were like, we've got to get them. He was like, we discontinued them.
Well, they made a special set of them. And then these Anchorman
White underwear, and there's a
So as you can hear, this electrolytic capacitor is completely gone. All 4 sections are history, completely dead. So it needs a new electrolytic capacitor. Now the next thing I want to check is this. Resistor right here. This 4-section resistor, and this is probably like 3 1,000 ohm resistors for the filaments. Okay, there's 3 resistors here. Basically, this is straight out of the selenium rectifier. This is supposed to be a 120, a 950 here, and a 950 here. Well, this one here is completely open. This one here is completely open. And that one there is good. And this little half-watt 1000 here is good.
And she is the one who came forward and said that while at CNN...
Here's the 120 straight out of the rectifier, which is open. Here's the 950, which is open. This right here is the little half-watt 1000, which is good, and this 950 here is actually good too. So these 2 are open. And then this capacitor's open, this capacitor's open, this capacitor's open, and one more. Let me find it. Here's the 4th one right here, which is a cathode filament bypass for the 1-volt filaments. This is kind of an interesting thing. I wonder if this is like a couplet right here. Comes off the plate of the detector into the audio output. I wonder if this is a bunch of disc caps. And I think I'm going to ohm this audio output transformer out. This right here is that disc cap couplet thing, so that's good. There's not going to be a problem there. So let's see, we got 2 bad resistors, 4 bad capacitors, probably a bad selenium, a missing tube, and that's just to kind of start. Well, I'll have to say this is a first for me. The primary of the audio output transformer is wide open. Wide open. 100% without a doubt. There's nothing to this. This is the transformer. These are the primary leads right here. One of them goes to B+ and the other one goes to the plate of the tube. And this thing is just completely wide open. I wonder if this radio got hit with lightning or something. I've never seen so many things. I mean, I could understand if the capacitor shorted and blew the resistors out, but the capacitor's wide open. 2 of the resistors are open. You think one would go open and that would be it. It'd be like a fuse. The weaker one would go open, which would be the higher resistance one, and then it would stop. And the primary of the audio output transformer is wide open. And there's still the mystery, the unknown of the IF transformer capacitors, if those are gone into silver mica rot or what. So I guess the next step will be to check the tubes. So this winding right here, which is 300 ohms, is wide open. And I don't see how this winding could go open without blowing this tube apart. These 3 V4s, the cathode is the filament, which is an exposed, it's not in a tube, it's just a micro wire exposed. So if the current was to get anywhere near to blow this open, it would just blow the filament apart unless it was hit by lightning. I don't see a lot of lightning damaged equipment out here because we don't really have lightning on the West Coast. It's just something that really doesn't exist. So when I see, you know, damage like this to something, it's quite a rare situation. That's why I usually, when you see me work on stuff, I usually don't check all this stuff like the lightning country guys do. I'm going to check this 330. The 330 is measuring 350, so that's good. Checking the 3V4, the filament's blown wide open. The pin 1 to 5 is still there, but the pin 5 to 7 is just completely wide open. I don't have a tube tester here, but maybe I'll check another tube. The filament is there on the 1U5. So that's a quick look at the Philco. I checked these tubes, they're good. The 3V4 is blown apart and that one's missing. The audio output transformer, filter capacitor, resistors, selenium rectifier. The antenna's good though. I checked that.